part of this partnership. The partnership that we're doing today is between the Kansas Joining Community Forces, which I happen to be the chair of, and the Patriot Business Program. There is a nationwide push for community covenant signings. This is pushed by the Army to have communities stand up and say, we support those who support us. So when the Army initiative started out saying, how can we recognize those communities that are nationwide and that are out there, and we can thank them and also let the military know that they are military-friendly communities. How can we do that? So they came up with a program called Community Covenant. And what it does is it acknowledges, has a proclamation, we have a signing, and acknowledges that community for what they're doing for the military, for the veterans, for the families and their dependents. Well, I wanted to keep that going here in Kansas. We had one a couple of years ago at Fort Riley, and it kind of fell off the face of the earth. And I wanted to continue that and see what we could do to show what we're doing here in Kansas and be proud of what we're doing here in Kansas for our service members, our dependents, and our veterans. Well, lo and behold, I didn't know we were already doing this. It was already going on here in Salina, Kansas. And so I was introduced to two great people, Rachel and Melissa, who had this program all tied up in a bow, and it was doing what the community covenants were supposed to do in the first place. It's supposed to recognize those communities and give support to those communities for helping and supporting our service members, our veterans, and their families. So once I got together with these two wonderful ladies, we decided we're going to let everybody know about this program. This is a great program. We can support it and we can promote it. The Kansas National Guard went out and got a grant for a volunteer service for America. We have one right here today. Kaylee, stand up real quick. One of the initiatives that we wrote on our grant is for a goal is to help with this Patriot Business Program, to promote it within our great state of Kansas and beyond. Why stop there? Why not promote this program? They've done all the hard work. Melissa's going to come up and tell you about the program here in a minute, but we can do this. We can push this program and help those military service members, their families and dependents, and their veterans out in all the states. Why not do that? We're going to start small. We're going to start with Kansas, but we're going to also try to reach beyond our borders. So, with that said, Melissa will come up. Melissa McCoy, thank you so much for coming up and helping us and get this started today.
Well, good morning. Thank you for coming out. I'm a walker and a talker too, but I promise that I'm staying near the microphone, so if I get really fidgety, that's why. My name is Melissa McCoy, and along with being an active member of the Salina Military Affairs Council, I'm also a former Marine Corps sergeant. I've also spent time as a Marine Corps and Army National Guard spouse. Now, that's not because I changed husbands, it's because my husband changed services. So, as a young single Marine on Camp Lejeune in UCAS New River in North Carolina, the 1st and the 15th of every month, that's payday for anyone who doesn't know, we would jump in our cars and we'd head down the road an hour to Wilmington or 3 hours to Raleigh, and we'd spend most of our paychecks or more than we should in those stores and, yes, those bars. And what we did was we shopped almost exclusively at stores and at restaurants that offered military discounts. That just wasn't something that was offered in Jacksonville, North Carolina. When my husband and I got married in 2008, we went down the road again and bought our wedding bands at a store that offered a military discount. So that was a significant savings for us at, $5,000, depending on how much you want to spend on your wedding ring. 10% is a good deal. So that's thousands of dollars that left the city of Jacksonville to other communities because they offered military discounts. So we started circulating this list. We would write down the names of all the stores that offered military discounts, but there was no real consistency. Some of the store clerks didn't know that they offered military discount, didn't know where the button was on the computer, weren't sure if they still offered them, and sometimes they just forgot. So there was no real consistency. And us military folk, we really like uniformity. So that's probably the biggest benefit of the Patriot Business Program as it sits. The mission of the Patriot Business Program is really simple. It's to create valuable savings for military members and their families by encouraging businesses to offer military discounts to current military ID card holders. We connect the service members to the businesses who support them. This is a service to the military. We've never used it as a fundraiser. Lastly, in appreciation for the business's support of the military, the program provides promotion and advertising to that business. So it's really a two-way and, in fact, a three-way street when we talk about the value to everyone involved. Now, the participation. Excuse me. I said a little bit about how we love uniformity. So the basic participation of the program is, there we go, is 10%. And what we found when we first started this program is a lot of businesses offer 10% discount to military anyways. And all they're doing is offering it. They aren't getting much in return. We aren't able to give them much in return aside from them being able to say thank you to our service members. The big ticket items, we have a couple car dealerships that 10% would be nice off of the price of a new vehicle, but it's not realistic. And a lot of car dealerships are offering $500 off the price of the car. That's new and oftentimes used. Our hotels and motels, like the Country Inn over here, 10% isn't something that they can realistically do, but they can honor per diem. They can make sure that they can meet that military members traveling on orders can afford to stay in their hotel and don't have to go to a lower budget hotel. We also have not-for-profits that when we started the program, they said, hey, I want to join, but I'm a non-profit. I can't always offer 10% off. I can't always offer $1 off a $5 ticket, but I still want to do something. And so we have the means to evaluate the nonprofits. And of course, we have a catch-all because there's mortgage companies and banks and a plethora of other services that attorneys that want to do something, but they can't meet that 10% minimum. So what we've done is we've set up a structure to where if you're looking at packets on the Patriot Business Guidebook, you can see there's an evaluation process there. It has to be, the 10% just isn't realistic, and it has to offer a meaningful discount to the military member. Now the benefit to the member is pretty obvious. They get significant savings. I always give this example and then I get made fun of later, so I'm ready for it. If I spend $15 a week at a local coffee shop, Mocha's, that offers a military discount, $60 a month at Tucson's, which is a steakhouse here in town that offers a military discount, $8,000 a year at a home improvement store, Lowe's, and $600 a year at clothing stores that offer military discounts. That's over $10,000 a year that I'm spending on stuff that I would buy anyways. And in return, I'm getting a savings of, you want to do the math? Over $1,000. Now that's significant to me and to our E2s, E3s, E4s, our corporals, lance corporals, PFCs that are running around here that are pulling a really big paycheck. It's easy identification of a Patriot business. That was our biggest gripe was we don't know what stores offer a military discount. They don't have a sign. Wouldn't it be nice if they just had a sign in the window that said, hey, we offer a military discount. So we'd know. So we would shop there first. So we wouldn't, just walk past the store. We see the discount. Oh, they offer one. Let's check it out and see what's in there. So the easy identification is a huge plus. It also felt good to have that support from the community. Knowing that the community said, hey, we support you. We understand that you give a service to us, and here's what we can give you in return. And it fosters a great relationship between the community and the military. Now, there's a very clear benefit to the businesses, which was sort of lacking with just offering the discount. With our program, when you offer the discount, discount, you get direct marketing to service members, distribution at special events, you get social media marketing, newspaper, radio ads, and websites, and you have the freedom to market yourself. Last year, we distributed, how many is it now, Rachel? More than 6,000 lists of Patriot businesses to visiting, base, and area military. And they use those lists. We have Canadians that come in and they've been training 3 to 4 times a year, depending on their schedule, and they look at that list and they decide where they're going to eat and where they're going to shop just off of that list. So they're getting extra business just by offering that discount. The hot thing right now is the pay-per-click advertising on the internet. We have new marketing and advertising folks in here. That's a cool new thing. Well, that's because you only pay for who clicks on your ad. Well, this is you really only pay for the people who purchase your items. And the bigger the item, the more you pay. Tiny item, it's not a lot of skin off the roses. We get welcome packets to all the military members that visit here. We have bussed in ladies from Fort Riley while their husbands were deployed so that they could go Christmas shopping here on Santa Fe Street and in the mall. And that was great for them because it's just a little break. While your husband's deployed, you need just a little break. You need something, some reason to leave and have a good time with your what we call them the tango wives, but that's because my husband wasn't tango battery, with your other military wives. So when the businesses sign up, they get a window sticker, which we lost. Okay. Which you'll see. They get to put in their window. This is an example of a newspaper ad that we run really regularly in the Salina Journal. As you can see, you can be a Patriot Business of the Week, and you can nominate a Service Member of the Week, or of the month, in this case. You get a packet, and you also see that in your folders of information with paid and unpaid advertising opportunities. Everyone gets the unpaid advertising opportunities, but there are additional opportunities that we've included to help the businesses who want to maybe go that extra mile. And of course, there's a benefit to the community as a whole. So like I said, it's a three-way street, a win-win-win. It fosters positive community relations, it increases sales, and increases military visitors. It's a gateway to, like I said, positive relations. In gratitude for the program, the Smoky-Hill Weapons Range hosts an annual Patriot Business Barbecue in which the owners, managers, and employees of Patriot businesses are invited out to the weapons range for a barbecue, fishing, and all sorts of good times. We've hosted, I already talked about the Patriot Business Shopping Day, and most importantly, it's a very measurable way to show support. You know, a lot of communities want to say we support the military, and they are very, very appreciative, and that is wonderful, but this is a way that you can say, here's an absolute measurable way that we can show that Salina, Minneapolis supports you. So where's the Patriot Business Program now? Who else is interested and what's up next? Well, we have Minneapolis just started the Patriot Business Program. They started the Patriot Business Program in Minneapolis, and Salina and Minneapolis both have designated April as Patriot Month. So that's one of the things that we're watching spread in our area. We would love to see the program go statewide, and that's why you all are here today. And of course, eventually nationwide. There's no reason why it shouldn't. The packets that you have include a guidebook, which we encourage you to take back to your communities. It is a cookie cutter. This is how you do the program. There's everything in there you need, and if there's any questions that you have, anything that the packet doesn't answer, please give Rachel or I a call, and we'll happily help in any way we can. As you can see, we've written the program so there's an evaluation process so that you can format it to your communities. Because what works in one community doesn't always work in the other. So we've made it flexible. So check out your packets and let us know if there's anything else that we can do. Does anyone have any questions? Yes.
Our website?
The website, fantastic. We just got it up. It's brand new. Let me see if I've got it up here. PatriotBusinessProgram.com. And right now, there's not much to it. We are in the process of building it. So pretty soon, you'll be able to go to PatriotBusinessProgram.com and you'll be able to input your information for your business or your community, or just find the information on how to start one in your area. And it'll all be right there for everyone. So when a service member trains in Salina from Manhattan, they can type in Salina, Kansas and see all the Patriot businesses in Salina. When Salina service members go train around Fort Riley, they can type in the zip code and see who's a member of the Patriot Business Program. Any other questions? Who's up next? Nathan. Nathan McClanahan is at the Country Inn and Suites, and they're one of our best hotel Patriot businesses.
Thank you. Good morning. Can everybody hear me all right? I just want to start off by saying thank you to both Melissa and Rachel. They've really done a lot of legwork for this program, and they've been a tremendous asset to the Salina community. When the Country Inn and Suites Salina became a Patriot business just a little over 2 years ago, the hotel has seen substantial growth with both the military and government market segment of our business. This program proves to be beneficial not only to my hotel, but to nearby restaurant establishments, surrounding businesses, and of course, the Salina community. Also, the Patriot Business Program has helped foster additional relations and partnerships with organizations and government entities outside of Salina, such as our Canadian forces. I'm grateful in the partnership I have with the MAC and the Salina Airport Authority. Country Inn and Suites by Carlson and Sam Hospitality Group will continue to support the Patriot Business Program in the future. I just wanted to kind of share a little insight from a hotelier's perspective today. You know, a lot of the hotels offer what we call per diem rates, and what that is that's an extended rate to our armed forces, our military, your state and local, state and federal offices. And what I was seeing before the Patriot Business Program was in place, a lot of hotels offer these discounts, but they would never educate the military or the government entities when they walked into the hotel. So they were already doing it. It was in place, so it was kind of a no-brainer when Melissa and Rachel came to talk to us about this program. I can say nothing's more aggravating than when you're standing in line checking in a hotel and there's somebody in uniform right in front of you, and the hotel decides to quote them rack rate, what we call rack rate, or the best available rate. And they don't even educate them or say, hey, I noticed you're in uniform, are you on government business? Ask those qualifying questions and extend those rates out to the individual. We're a proud supporter of the program, and we're glad to offer those kind of rates within the government and military market segments. So if anybody has any questions, I'm going to be around. I'd be happy to answer them after the conclusion of the program here today. So thank you.
Hi, I'm John Armbrust. I'm the Executive Director of the Governor's Military Council, and I think that these two ladies are absolutely petrified as to how long I'm going to talk today. Yesterday I called and about would I say something, and I thought we started out at 45 minutes, but maybe I misunderstood that. Actually, what I'd like to do is just give you some perspective how this fits into what I would consider a larger program that all communities really need to pay attention to. I think what's really important for a community to do is become what some of us call a landing zone. And a landing zone is really a community that provides military members, their families, veterans and their families, every resource they need to integrate fully into that community, to integrate fully. And then to give them the opportunity to explore options for their future. Because most men and women in uniform are not in uniform their entire working career. So there are really about 4 things that communities need to evaluate if they're going to be a really very good landing zone for military members, veterans, and their families. They're very obvious. First of all is employment. And it's employment not only for the veteran, but it's employment for those that are in uniform today, but their spouses. And employment in terms of their future. It may be something that helps set them up and to stay in the community. The second thing is education. In Salina, for example, there's a great education system, not only K through 12, but beyond. And one of the things that we have a concern with veterans in particular, but actually a lot of men and women in uniform and their families, is they don't know how to access that education, and they don't know what it takes to really complete that education and or training and become successful. So we need to help them do that and make sure that we're evaluating it. Third thing has to do with healthcare. Again, very good in this region. But I will tell you there are surveys out that talk about veterans in particular, but men and women in the Guard and Reserve that live in our communities that really don't know how to access the healthcare system with the benefits that they have. And the last thing are just other family ideas that are important that a community can provide. Housing, I mentioned K-12 schools, child care, social services. So that's kind of a general sense of what a community can do to become a landing zone. But let me give you a couple of things that I think communities in general need to work on more specifically. First thing is they need to explore more partnerships. Those of us that work in the partnership area call it P4, so it's public-public or public-private. And this is a very good example of a partnership. But there are many, many more out there that already exist in a sense, but we don't take really good advantage of it. Second thing is I think communities need to develop an in-processing process. You know, men and women in uniform are used to having a process where when they arrive, they in-process and you get all the information they need. Why don't communities do that? Now, it requires you to know who the military are, the Guard, the Reserve, the active duty, or the veterans. But why isn't there a packet or something that has all of the information about schools, healthcare, how to access it if you are in the military, active Guard, or Reserve? So I think there are things like that that we can be doing. I think the other thing, and it's done in many communities, but many communities haven't quite figured out the right perspective as they work in this area. You know, veterans and military people are not a challenge to be solved. They're really an opportunity to be developed. And we need to take advantage of that and get that mindset. And the last thing I would tell you is that in all of this, we have to really apply the KISS principle. We really need to keep it simple. There are so many programs out there, and there are so many great Americans working on these programs, but they duplicate each other, and we're not making maximum use of our resources. So I think this is a great event. I'm really excited to be here. This is a phenomenally great program, and I appreciate all of you being here. Thank you.
The Patriot Business Program and joining community forces, they really encompass 3 things: connecting, serving, and supporting. And both programs really foster the supportive military community, which in turn enhances the relationship between our service members as well as our civilians. I'd like to first have John Kelly come up here because I want to recognize this young man for his efforts and really taking the bull by the horns and assisting us with the Patriot Business Program. He, in fact, started Kansas Patriot Support Unit, which is, to my knowledge, the first support unit for teens or in support of the military. So I applaud him for his efforts. In addition, he would like to serve his country, our country, one day and be an officer. And so we would also like to recognize the Mayor of Minneapolis, Virginia Hoover, as well as the City Administrator, Barry Hodges. If you please come up. They are perfect examples of what it takes to foster a supportive military community. And so what we'd like to give you is our Military Affairs Council coin in appreciation of your efforts. We'd like to go to John. Our goal is to make the facilitation and implementation of the Patriot Business Program as easy as possible. So here's what we have done for communities. On our website, you can go and view any of our press releases and customize them so they're specific to your community. You can also find the proclamation for Patriot Month, which is recognized in April. And you can also find ideas such as the Patriot Business Easter Egg Scramble, which we had over 500 participants for our first time event. You could find information about the Patriot Business Shopping event, as well as our Patriot Business Appreciation. We also are including radio ads and a video, which is free for you to use, and we encourage you to slap on your logo and any logos from other businesses in your city that are also supporting your efforts. We also have these printable cards, which we encourage all Patriots to distribute, and you can find them on the back table. These cards, we encourage you to leave behind at restaurants, when you're shopping, anywhere that you are that they're in a Patriot business. And it simply says, "Dear business owner, please consider joining the Patriot Business Program. It's free to join, and by offering a military discount, you get free marketing in return." We have all of the information on there. You could easily put 20 of these in your wallet and distribute them each week. We also have contacted a volunteer organization on the state level, and there's hundreds of volunteer organizations in the whole state of Kansas that are ready to help individuals implement this program. We also are working with the largest movie theater in the state of Kansas, so that anybody who wants to show the Patriot Business video, which I'll show you shortly, and promote the program in your community may do so. And we also have sent information to the 175 Chamber of Commerces in the state of Kansas. Some of the new things that we have are a blog on the Salina Post. Our blog encompasses active duty service member, Melissa and I representing the community, a veteran, as well as a military family. We will have a post every week, and this is all what joining community forces is about. We also are recognizing a Patriot of the Week in addition to our Service Member of the Week. As you can find in your packet there, that we have a Patriot Business sponsor, and they recognize the Patriot of the Week as well as a service member. And that program in Salina is very successful. The next is the First in Line, troops, first in line, first in our hearts, or first in our hearts, first in line.
It's a simple way to say thank you. The next time you see someone in military uniform, give them your place in line. Troops first. First in our hearts, first in line.
That is the video that you're free to use, and like I said, put your logo on that end of it, and just contact us and we'll make that available to you. Upcoming, we have some new initiatives planned for the future, which include an annual statewide Patriot Business Banquet. At this banquet, we are going to reward communities for their support of service members, and we'll have guidelines to do so. We're also going to be offering scholarships, and it's going to be we're probably going to have this in April of next year around Patriot Month. And then we also are working on a Hometown Heroes Patriot Run. This run will include partnering with the police department, the fire department, emergency management, and of course service members. I would like to read to you what patriotism is. Every true American has felt it, that shudder of joy so vast it can hardly be contained, that heart-pounding pride at the sight of the American flag. It is a sense of belonging to something greater than oneself, of belonging to a great nation. It floods us as we listen to the national anthem with tears stinging, throat choking, pride and triumph welling up within. And although describing any such great emotion is difficult, we embody this feeling in one word: patriotism. To be an American patriot, you do not have to die, be famous, or win any awards. American patriots are people like you and me. Our names may not be recognized or famous, we may not be buried with the 21-gun salute, and no medals may adorn our lapels. But because we love our country, we are true patriots. We are confident that together we can join forces to create not just a win-win, but a win-win-win for the business sector, our community, and most importantly, service members. So in closing, we are going to do our ribbon cutting. Do you have a ribbon? Oh, here we go. And can we have Colonel Fisher please come, as well as Jason Gage.
The three ribbons signify the community, the service members, and the businesses. Are we ready? 1, 2, 3.
What I did in my role, again, as the president of Kansas Joint Community Forces, I also took advantage of pushing this up to National Guard Bureau and pushing this up to DC. I think it was a program, again, that I'm proud that Kansas has and that we can promote. I've actually had people from Oregon and Pennsylvania and other states call me and say, hey, we've been hearing about this because you're talking about it so much. Let us know what it is, let us know what it's about. So I'm actually also sending the information, again, across our borders. We're taking this for people to look at, and to echo also, what was said about what communities can do above and beyond just this program, but to get it started and so it can reach that. Any service member, veteran, or family member can go online, click in, their zip code, and then to see what community within their state is military friendly. How great would that be? That would be amazing if we could do that. So, starting with our partnership here and starting with Kansas, but again, my voice, again, I'm loud, I talk, I get it out there, and I've taken it straight where it needs to go to the ears it needs to be. It has gone to DC, and it has gone to National Guard Bureau, and then we're just going to keep promoting this through our partnership so we can keep growing. So.
Well, this concludes the press conference for today. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them, as with Mary or Melissa or John. Thank you for coming.